Hi there. Welcome back to another episode of From the Ground Up with Esther. Today it's a very exciting episode because I have with me someone special that is also building something that I'm very proud to be witnessing and very happy that I'm being part of her journey. In this podcast, we talk about stories of faith, growth, resilience, and things that help us to grow in our lives, in our families, in our communities, in our businesses. So I have with me my friend, Loanne, and I will read a little bit of who she is because she's an author. So let me read you her introduction. It's Loanne Jean Baptist. She is a keynote speaker, writer, artist, and singer songwriter whose work centers on faith, healing, and emotional honesty. Through her music, poetry, and storytelling, she helps others confront their undealt with feelings and transform emotional pain into purposeful living. Her passion is to help others find peace after pain and stay anchored in a positive mindset, especially after seasons of trauma and transition. Whether on a stage or through the written word, Loanne empowers people to embrace their emotions, reclaim their faith, and walk in the light of their becoming. Such a beautiful introduction. Hi, Loanne. So, this is Loanne. Tell us a little bit more about you so people can get to know you a little better. Your name.
Yes. So my name is Loanne Jean Baptist, and I work in social services with Child Protective Services. At the same time, my main focus is to help people stay in positive mindset. And that's why I will be coaching people to help them navigate through pain. That way, it's not like they feel it at the end, but as well to know how they can cultivate something through that pain and gain to a better ground of alignment, and as well to discover what their true purpose is.
That is beautiful, Loanne. That is beautiful because you are doing so many amazing things. Being a social worker with social services, that is, I think, such a powerful job because you're helping.
Yes, when we work in child protective services, a lot of kids, they went through a lot of trauma, and helping them, it's very rewarding.
Very rewarding. Yeah. And besides that, you're also an author. Like I just read your introduction. This is her book. It's My Night Blue Sky by Loanne Jean Baptist. So it's a poetry book, right?
Yes, it's a poetry book. My Night Sky Blue, it's based on real life stories where I navigate through a lot of changes, trauma, pain, where each of them, they gave me courage to continue on life, but not by myself, but as well with how God helped me through all the seasons. And that's why you see all the chapters, there are different seasons in my life where if I didn't have God as my mentor, I wouldn't, I wouldn't like be who I am right now. And that's what I realized. A lot of people tends to forget that in the midst of going through trials where we feel that we have all this burden, we always have to remember that staying anchored with who we are and at the same time the source with which my source is God help me stay true to myself. At the same time, I can go on with the life that he created me to, because it's knowing who you are in the midst of everything that's happening to you.
Yeah, that is so important because right now, like, we're doing so many things. Like, we met at speaker school,
Yes.
and that's where I learned about Loanne and what she's doing. And we related because we want to do so many things in our lives, right? We have our job, and then we have all these dreams and aspirations,
Exactly.
and all of them are very good. But at the same time, we have to recognize that we can't do things on our own strength, right? We have to recognize that we need God to help us because He's our source,
Yes.
right?
And the thing is, a lot of people might interpret their source through different ways. But the thing is, where you going through emotions, a lot of time people don't realize that. That's where you can go astray. Because when you think that you're alone, you don't have a support system, you don't know where to gain that strength, you can make decisions that you're not pleased with.
Mm.
And a lot of time when you seek the Lord in everything that you do, whether you go to suffering, whether it's a project that you're doing, you will see that things come together. Because when you call God to everything that you do, you will see his hands in everything that you're doing. A lot of time he's directing, shifting things. And then sometimes you say, well, what's going on? But you call him into the project. And as soon that you call him, and you're going to see how he orchestrate everything, he shifted things and then make them happen in a way that's even better than what you hoped for. And that's the beauty of having God as the center of your life. Because whether you go into trials, to pain, he's there. The thing is not to stay in the suffering, is to learning the lesson that you have to learn in those period of time. Because furthermore, when you go along, there's things that you're going to help people. Because if he chose you to go to that path, it's for a reason. So while you're going through it, you're going to backpack all the lessons that you're going to help other people. That way, people who's in a state of wound, they suffering, they know that they're not by themselves, because he equipped you with all the lesson, things that you're gonna be able to help people, not because you heard about this experience, because you went to the fire yourself. So now people are gonna have
Yeah.
encouragement to see, oh, there's a light by the end of the tunnel.
Yes. That's so good. See, I'm inspired by what you're saying because God uses everything for our good, right? And we want to do so many things.
Yes.
Everybody,
Yes.
everyone, we have dreams, but sometimes we think, like for me, there was a moment in my life where I thought I couldn't do certain things, or could only see people, only encourage them to do things, but I wasn't able to see myself being the one doing it, right? And that's when I said, I need to actually, what am I believing, right? If I have God, why am I thinking this way?
Yes.
Right. And it
Yeah.
has to be a mind shift
Yeah.
where you're saying our source is God and he's the one that gives us our talents, our dreams, because he wants us to serve other people.
Exactly. And which is good. I'm kind of glad that you chose to listen to that call, because it's a call. That's why a lot of people don't understand. We all call for his purpose, depending on what he chose us, because he created you with everything that you are, your grace. Some people are strong-minded because he created them to be in an environment where they need that mindset to help people in a different area. So your call, the fact that you're giving people a voice to talk, and other people can look up to you, that's a great thing, because we need to understand that our call can be different. It has chosen us to do those things depending on where He's shifting our life to serve, and live in a place of servitude is good. And being generous, because we don't have to be worried about how many people we're serving and what we can get in return. Because a lot of time while we're serving, God is serving us in our life, giving us what we need, what is necessary. And I'm learning that, because even when a lot of stuff happened in my life, the more genuinely I'm helping people, not because I want something in return, but because that's who I am, who He created me. So the more I do that, the more I see how He's doing things in my life that I didn't expect. As people can say, as a gift, it can be as a way to God, and God encourage us to say that you're on a good path. While you're taking of others, He's taking care of you.
Yes, that's so beautiful. That's such a great reminder. And since you spoke about this, right? How do you get inspired? When was that moment in your life that you decided to work in child services?
Well, I would say it was a funny story. When I was a kid, I remember I used to, I was in a Catholic school where administered by nuns, and when I used to go to school, and I used to see a lot of people in poverty, kids didn't have a place. They were on the street asking for help, and I'm like, Mom, I feel like they need help. So I was felt in my heart that I'm supposed to help people, but and I said, you know what, I feel, and I was 8, probably around 8. And so I told my mom, I feel like I want to work in social services, like help people. So even when at the same time I had some other dreams and wanted to be a doctor, which I actually that's another story, but it's just at
Okay.
the same time, it actually happened because someone just called me and said, Luan, like, we need help in that area. And it's funny because I kind of forget about that part until I received that call. And it's like in a way God reminded me that even when I was a kid and I said that, but it was true because as a kid you have the pure, honest heart, so it's not
Mhm.
deviate from other problem that you didn't encounter yet. So it's a true heart speaking that's the Holy Spirit talking to me in a way that He called me to serve, help others. So when I received that call and I started working with the kids, and I'm like, that that's a reminder of something that I said years ago when I was a kid, probably thinking that it was just nothing, but God implemented that in my heart. So I'm glad, and that's how I was able to, at the same time, realize that by helping others, and I can as well coach people to
Yeah.
stay in positive mindset because after trauma or in the trials, having when you go to trauma, that's where you need help the most because that's where your weak spot are.
Yeah.
You need people to help you stay grounded.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful because I was talking about this with another friend in our Bible study because we have a Bible study. And we were talking about the dreams that we have, right?
Yeah.
And I mentioned when I was a child too, I had dreams, like I was saying, and I have forgotten that. But I never thought of this way that you just put it. Like when we're kids, we have all these ideas and desires that are pure
Yes.
hearted.
Yes.
And those are God ideas.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because we don't know about certain problems. Our parents are our shield at that moment. They are the one who provide. So we just had to live under their guardianship while God is and is doing everything. So usually if you realize a lot of people, they said that they were inspired of things that they wanted to do since they were kids because God already planted that seed. So as we grow up and then go along with life, it's gonna nurture, and things that we go through are usually a wake up sign to kind of like help us awaken that gift that you already planted in us that we can start working in it. And that's why a lot of people need help because when they go to suffering, they think God let them alone or they're all alone. They don't have any help. So they don't realize that there is a pruning season where you go through certain stuff. It's not because you didn't do anything right, but they were preparation for you to nurture that gift to be able to help other people who doesn't know how to help themselves, who don't need a hand because the hand is not someone might be able to take care of themselves financially, but they need help mentally. And
Yeah.
a lot of time they can go to a shrink and having people to talk to them in a professional way, but they forget the spiritual way is as important, or if not more important than
Mhm.
the professional way. Because you can, as I stated in my book, you can when you heal with the world, it looks fine with a band-aid on
Mhm.
until it doesn't. But when you heal with God, it makes you dig out the hurt that you planted and to
Yeah.
deal with it until it's gone.
Yeah.
Because when you just put a band-aid on something, you go along with life because the projection of the world right now, we have to keep going. And we don't nurture, we don't take in care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And everybody has a little trauma and it shows the way we act with others. If you feel like when you meet someone for the first time, you already feel like you have a projection, or maybe you don't feel like you want to talk to that person. Why? It's always in the why. Or if you already have a mindset, you already figure out, oh, I think that's what that kind of person is. Why?
Mm.
You always have to ask yourself that question because to have genuine connection with someone, it's true there's people who might have bad intention, but you cannot just from the first time you meet someone to just already have a bad projection. Why? If you ask yourself that question, usually we'll see that is it something in me that have that fear of people of maybe your look that I interpreted in the wrong way. Well, I don't know if that maybe is the person facial expression I'm not used to, and I deviated to a way that is not what it's supposed to. So what we have in our mind, if we don't treat it, we're gonna go outside in the world and have a projection of people on people based on our understanding, not letting us having a true genuine connection with people.
That's so important. Oh my God, such a good. See, I told you she was good.
All glory
No,
to God.
before we keep going, I will just remind you to please subscribe to my channel, follow on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, so you can listen to this conversation while you're driving, or you can watch it at home and send it to your friends, because I know I am growing with these conversations, and I know that they will also help you grow in your journey and learn from people like Loanne that is making a difference in the life of children and also the life of other people she's meeting with all her wisdom and everything that she has to offer. So I'm very happy to have this conversation with you. I'm already learning so much from you, and those are things that remind us to be rooted in our faith in God, because in this world right now there are so many things, right, that can be confusing,
Yes.
different teachings, different thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's important to have these conversations because the world needs people, needs God through people,
Exactly.
right?
And that's what we meet God. It's through
Mm-hmm.
people. And that's what I look how God just inspired you to say that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because if you can't see God in someone, you're missing the whole point, because we don't see him. We see him to our neighbor, to people. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you said.
Yeah, it's through people. I want to, like you were saying, how this was your desire of you when you were a child. What was the process? You went to school for counseling, social services. How does that work?
Actually, I'm in social services assistant with child, but with the child protective services. But right now, I'm more focusing on my coaching process, where I can help people, because that just opened my eyes and realized that how people are indeed a great need of help with their mental health, because people project a lot, and it's based on what they feel inside that they're not dealing with. Because anything that you encounter, things that bring you a lot of pain, when you just brush it off, it's not enough. You go along with life because it's true. It's a duty for you to keep going. But at the same time, you're not dealing with the issue. And if you don't deal with the issue, to realize that, okay, what happened to you didn't happen to for you to destroy you, but maybe to learn something. And not everything that happened to you gonna happen to you exact like to other people. So people stuck in the same little pain, and then they just go around the path, but they never really go outside of that. They stay stagnant with their feeling. They don't take that. So that's mostly what right now I'm doing.
Yeah, that's so great because you saw the need and you have that background, and what you do, going back to your profession is helping you see the need in
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
And everything starts from childhood, right? We go through different things.
Yes, and at the same time, things that along the way while we growing up, things that we went through, and emotion. Because technically, I matured a lot in that aspect after I lost my brother in the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. Because that loss took me a great amount of time for me to really heal, like properly. Because as I said, it's like for you to really realize something, when you go through it yourself, you can actually validate what you went through in a way that it's not something that you heard, but you went through it. So I didn't realize how you can feel like a pain, and then at the same time you can choose not to feel it. But choosing not to feel it, it just not dealing with it and put it on the side of your mind. And then it just come back. It resurfaces you. It affects you in a certain way, where you feel like you overcompensated where you're not supposed to, because you have that fear of, you don't want to lose people. You don't want to lose people in a way. You maybe over forgive. You are not even, you can't forgive, but you over giving, or you maybe accept things that you shouldn't. Those things are things that were pain can deviate a lot of stuff in us.
Mhm.
So all the things that I went through, I always call God. Through them, He helped me. And by seeing all these things that happen, I realized that if we don't deal with our pain and box them, they're gonna resurface.
Mm.
We may make the wrong decision. We may at the same time chose different path because our pain has the power, if we don't control them, to deviate our life. And by one choices can deviate your life and it may be affected in a way that you wouldn't expect to.
Wow. Yeah. That's going through things that are hard are things that actually test our character,
Mm.
test our identity,
Yes.
right? And like, we're in the Thanksgiving week right now, right?
Yes.
So also stay grateful and to be alive regardless of things that are going on. That can also be hard.
Yeah.
So you have gone through the loss of your brother that you share.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about that experience and why you learn even, being this professional that knows about these things?
Okay, so with my brother, when I lost him, it was hard because how you deal with your pain while other people are suffering, and you realize that at the same time when it happened, so many people were dealing with their own emotions.
Yeah.
And having my parents as well who went through their own emotion, and then I decided, like, to help them, but I didn't take care of my own feelings, which I learned along the way to really, like, you let go and accept the reality of the fact. But I realized that even that pain, by letting go, it's not like you're letting go of the person, it's it's building resilience.
Mm-hmm.
I built a lot of resilience because I did not expect that death on the way because he was so young.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I didn't express myself to him enough. Even when we had the greatest relationship, we supported each other. We always had that laugh, that bond. But it hit me hard because we had so many things that we're thinking we'll do together.
Mm-hmm.
And having that taken away like that in your life felt like very huge. It
Mm-hmm.
feels, it feels, it feels hard, the hardest way that I could imagine.
Wow.
And that's that by building resilience, it means at the same time that I have to accept that God has his life with him right now, that for a reason. And we don't have to say that, oh God, why God took his life. Well, there's a lot of people who lost their children, parents, loved ones. So it's about him. He knows best. But right now we are here for a mission, is to do what God created us to do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you brush it off a pain, you brush off a pain that you can still feel or you can still accept and mourn. But it's to see that God is calling us for his purpose. We don't know until we let him guide us.
Yeah.
And before my brother died, he actually did everything that he wanted to do. And when I realized that, I said maybe it was something for him to show that he did what his dream was, like
Mm-hmm.
having his studio, helping people, like creating stuff. And so he did what he was supposed to do, and maybe God said it was time for him for him to take him.
Mm-hmm.
So while we are here, we have to stay centered, and at the same time we can talk to people about what we feel, and we can choose who to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's knowing how we can stay centered, not by ourselves, because a lot of time our mind can play us some tricks,
Yeah.
thinking that we're alone, nobody understands us. Those are things that are very detrimental for our life because
Mm-hmm.
we think that we know based on our perception,
Yeah.
So if you don't see the other perspective that other people can reach out and can be here for you,
Mm-hmm.
so good Lord it.
Yeah. Those are hard things that happened, and we all lose someone at some point in our lives, right? We all deal with pain in different ways. And for you, what was the tool that you used to help you the most to, build that resilience? Because that's why you said that you built resilience.
Yes, that's a great question. I realized that the tools actually that I use are to write. I wrote my emotion. It helps me. And that's one of the reasons that I wrote that book, My Night Sky Blue, is based on everything that I felt like I couldn't really speak out to other people, that I wrote them. And at the same time, some that God inspired me. I write a lot and I prayed a lot. I prayed, I fasted, I seek God in a way that I want to understand things that maybe with my own understanding would be very um clouded. But when you seek the Lord with a pure heart, he will show himself to you. He will. And that's when I lost my dad, that helped me and it reminded me of the pain that I felt and realized that even when there's some stuff that I wish I could have done for like to show him like my gratitude and everything, but the timing is not in my hand, it's in God's hand. What we can do, it's what we're able to do now at the moment. And again, one thing I stated in the book, because now we have the power over yesterday to build tomorrow. So if something shifted, if it's something that you couldn't do anything about it, you have to realize that there's nothing you could have done about it and
Mhm.
accept it. If you cannot accept it alone, that's where you reach out. It's not like that's where you should always reach out to God, but in a way where you feel weak, you need that support. Say, God, like, help me understand, like, help me let go. Like, ask Him for in your pure heart to help you because He can. And people who said magically like that, yes, magically like that, just like that. Because there's some way that I felt like some strength that I gained when I lost people. I know that it's not me. I know that supernatural sense, that power, you overtake me with that power to able to that I can just grieve in a way that is not destroying myself. I know that it's his power,
Yeah.
especially when you have other people grieving with you.
Yeah.
It's not, I didn't do it by myself.
Well, yeah, that's good. So for, the audience that are listening to us right now, you lost your brother in the earthquake. What year was that?
It was in 2010. Yeah.
2010. And recently, Loan went through another loss a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Of her dad. So she's someone that is speaking about resilience and allowing God to help you during the grieving process.
Yeah.
You're in that season of building that
Mhm.
even more in your life. And you said the tools that you use were writing and praying.
Yes.
And sometimes we forget that our God has left those tools available for
Yes.
us, right? Sometimes some people don't are not believers in God, others are. Or sometimes you can be a believer and still forget about those things because the pain is so big in our lives. And what would you say is something that God highlighted in you, or how long did it take for you to understand and build that resilience that you mentioned?
Well, that's another great question. I feel like it's probably the way it created me. Because even when you don't know yet what you're capable of enduring, but he created all his children in a way for a purpose, maybe to guide other people. He knows or himself for the reason. But I always felt I was a little different when I was a kid. Even when I remember as a Catholic, I went to my first communion, and when the kids were talking and having fun, I'm like, "Ooh, wait, we have to keep silence. Here's Jesus." And then they would look at me like that, like, "Oh, it's so serious," but it was serious to me. So in that sense, I realized that maybe He created me for a reason and to be that way.
Mhm.
So it was always serious to me, and I always remember that I grew up having a sense where I always used to look like I was older than I'm supposed to be in my soul when I talk. They always say, "Oh my gosh, you look so young." And when I look my face, but inside, when I start talking to people, they said, "Oh my gosh, like, but it's all him." So the time that I felt like when all the things that happened, when my parents were suffering, they couldn't even talk when about my brother, and I stood up and I talked. I lost my aunt as well at young age too, and people were grieving, and then I was the one who talked the ceremony,
Wow.
and I realized that. And then even my mother always said that, "Oh my gosh, I realized that you were always the one who talked, even at whatever the
Mhm.
age." I was like 12. I spoke about my aunt and my aunt funeral, and my dad, my brother the same. And even for my dad, when he died, I'm the one who talking to people and handling stuff. So I realized that he created me in that sense, even when I was suffering. But the fact that he always know that I will rely on him, so his power, his strength overtake my life.
Wow.
So even when of course I can be teary, but I know that I'm not by myself.
Yeah.
And the thing is to always know that even in the darkest moment, you can shout like, "Hey God, why me?" But ask him, call on him. He
Mm.
will answer.
Yeah. That's so
He
good.
will answer.
Yeah. And we're in that Thanksgiving week right now, and everyone is going through different things.
Yes.
How do you stay grateful? Yeah. How do you stay grateful?
I realize that God put a lot of people in our family, whether we know them from the first time or they were here for the longest, or some people will have other direction, the seasons in our life. But the people that God put in our life, it's one of the things that to be grateful for. I'm
Mhm.
grateful for my mother. She's the strongest woman I've ever known on earth. She's so strong, and at the same time she's so loving. So secured attachment, I get that from him.
Mm.
So it was a good thing that her faith, my parents were always faithful. So I'm faithful. I'm grateful for the faith that I was able to grow up in a family who knew God.
Mhm.
That's one of the things too. And the fact that all the people that I meet recently this year, they are, I feel like I'm learning with a lot of grace how other people bring so much light, so much gift in my life. In a way, it's not like they come with their loving way, and then that's something to be grateful for.
Mhm.
I'm grateful for you, Esther, because you are such a bright light.
Oh.
You have such a grace, and the work that you do inspired me as well. There's so many people. If I start counting, I will not stop today. So I'm grateful for that.
Oh.
God is good, and then the people that He put in my life, I'm grateful because it's a community.
Mhm.
You cannot do His work alone. You cannot go alone in life and whatever you do alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all of us. We helping each other. So that's why I always tell people, when you help, don't help because you're gonna know you're gonna need a help after that. Just
Mhm.
help.
Mhm.
Because if not not only because you're helping because you know it's the right thing to do, but while you consciously keep on helping, you're gonna see that you inspire other people to do the same. So it's gonna be all of us in the community who's helping each other, not because I know, oh, I'm gonna need her help. Let me start helping now. And people gonna sense it.
Yeah.
People gonna sense it.
Mhm.
Do it genuinely. And be grateful for who you are. And what if people misinterpreted you, it's fine. Because again, one thing I said in my book, have no fear. The truth they will see. Have no fear.
Mhm.
So whatever things it is, always be true to yourself. I'm grateful that God helped me to stay true for myself because people always gonna see who you are
Mhm.
and what you work for.
Yeah.
You be genuine, so it's gonna show. And at the same time, if you have a ulterior motive, it's gonna show as well. So I'm grateful for everybody who's in my life, truthfully, and for the what God chose me to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. I'm grateful for you too.
Oh, thank you.
Grateful that we got to meet and share this moment, right?
But what about you? I know that with what you're doing right now, it's something to be inspired for. Like you said, how long you have been doing it? 6 months or
Yeah, 6 months. I think I posted my first video in January, February, March, April.
wow.
Yeah, maybe April or March. Yeah. See,
But
I was trying to count. Yeah, I think I posted my first video on April.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
And I mean, in my perspective, I thought you
Or
were doing that for years.
oh,
Yeah,
really?
because the professionals that you show, your grace, you show so much confidence and you ask the right question if it makes people feel at ease when they're talking. So I thought you were doing it more than 6 months.
It's
So
God's grace.
yeah, that is exactly
It's
wow.
God's grace. Because going back to what you said at the beginning, I remember when I was younger, I had this
Mhm.
public speaking class.
Yeah.
And I remember going to my teacher and saying, I like presenting, I like speaking in public. And I never actually pursued that
And
until this year.
God brought you back to
Yeah,
it.
he brought me back. It was the same thing, you know. So you say
Hmm.
people that we have in our
Yes.
lives are a blessing. So
Yes.
I met two amazing girls 2 years ago, I believe, or 3 years
Yeah.
passed by too quick. And when I was going through that moment of I don't know what to do, I feel like I have so much to give, but I don't know. She will always ask, but what is it that you like to do? What is it that you like
Mhm.
to do? And it reminded me of what I like to do.
Wow. Everything is coming back to the source.
Hmm.
When that's exactly what I tell people, because who's the creator?
Yeah.
He's the biggest creator. He's the creator. So of course
Yeah.
he created you with that seed and that you later gonna go into this and where he gonna continue the work with you for his purpose. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen later.
I have faith for you, Esther. I know
I'm
that.
just, taking
Mhm.
steps at a time and just keep going, consistency,
Mhm.
right? Learning
Yes.
all the people that I bring, like you, everyone that has come into the podcast have been such a blessing and mentors. I see them as
Wow.
mentors during this walk of learning because this is why I started to learn from other people.
Yes. That's
And at the same time, inspire others
mhm.
that they can also grow from their stories, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
every story, like what you went through recently and what you're doing, it inspires me to keep going, even when things get hard, right? Like the death of our family members. I couldn't believe you still went through with your book launch.
Yes, it was very hard. And then I remember that my father, he was a journalist and he loved education. My father was a journalist and he valued education, faith, and I know he would love for me to continue.
Mm. Yeah.
And I was about to give up, and then I felt like I had to honor him because I know if he was, he would have loved for me to continue.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had a strong faith, and I know you'd love the fact that I talk about God. God is in every little single page in this book
Yeah. Yeah.
because I know I will say that without him, I'm nothing. So I, I feel like I did that for him as well
Mm.
because he loved God with all his heart.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so proud
God
of you.
was his always his number one, and then which is always should be that way in our life,
Yeah.
in our life. So I know that I did it. I know I continued because I know that when God gives you something, you have to continue to. That's one thing. A lot of time, emotion can stop us in our mission, and other people might think that why you can. They will think that you will stop, but at the same time, when God chose you to do something, not stopping doesn't mean you don't have an emotion.
Mm.
It means that you have the courage to continue God's work despite everything.
Yeah.
It's to demonstrate His power in you, not my resilience, because it wouldn't be enough. The resilience wouldn't be enough,
Mm.
but His power kept me going. Not because I don't feel the emotions, but I was able to continue with his power.
Mm-hmm. That,
And his power surpasses everything.
yeah.
And that's what I want to people to understand. We all in life, whether we want it or not, we'll go through grief. Some people will go through it differently. But I want to help people to prepare to understand that when you have to go to trials, certain shift situation, problem, you always have to remember that you not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened doesn't mean it happened to destroy you, but it's to embrace the courage with God and see what you have to learn in it
Mm-hmm.
for the greater purpose that is
Yeah.
leading you to.
Yeah. That's so true. Because we don't understand when it happens, right?
Yes, it will, exactly. But it will happen eventually. It's God's grace, but at the same time, everybody on earth will encounter grief, will encounter loss.
Mm-hmm.
But it's to not let that destroy you or shift the purpose,
Mm-hmm.
because it can if you're not dealing with it properly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a good reminder because we will all go through that valley.
Exactly.
We'll all go through it.
Exactly.
And yeah, especially now I think of the holiday season, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
one of
Yes.
the hardest for some people.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
a happy time for a lot of people, but also a hard time for
Some,
others,
yes.
right? And not everyone celebrates the same way, and some
Exactly.
people are hopeless.
Yes.
So I now that we're talking about this, I want to give hope to others, right?
Yes.
What would you say? Can you give a message to someone that is feeling hopeless during this season? Maybe they lost somebody, maybe they're single. Because I remember back, I've been single for a long time, but there were times in my life where I felt like, okay, another holiday without a person when everybody else is like showing off,
Mhm,
there's someone. There was a moment in my life, not right now, thank
mhm,
God. I'm feeling very fulfilled, very happy, and it's a blessing. But there were moments where I felt also hopeless
mhm.
because there was that grief in me.
Yes.
Can you give a message to someone that is feeling that way?
I love that question. You see, I said that you so good at what you're doing. You ask the right question, helping people find the answers. And I feel like with people who lost people, they have to remember that they're not by themselves. At the same time, to see others,
Mm-hmm.
because they cannot do it by themselves. And for people who are single, that's a great question. Because I myself, as a single person, I always felt like before, when I was really not trying to date, it was as if that something was missing. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing it and something was missing. So I will say that don't stress yourself about finding the person. Is to put yourself in a position where while you're doing what you're doing, your person will find you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that people say that a lot is very common, your person will find you, your person will find you. And then some people say, or single say, yeah, but I've been doing my thing, where's my person? But it's because preparation is will,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're someone who believe in God. Because let's be obvious, if you want it, as a pretty woman that you are, you could be dating anybody
Mm-hmm.
because you are dating with purpose. That's what shrink your pool.
Yeah.
So it's not the fact that you cannot find someone in your life. It's because you're dating with purpose. And as me, like as well, dating with purpose, it's bigger than ourselves. So
Mm-hmm.
being in the right time at the right place is important. And who's controlling that is God.
Mm-hmm.
So letting God shifting your life, guiding you through it, that's how it's going to happen. So not stressing about it, to know that God position me where my person will be, and let that to him, because he knows. You can make a list if you want to, like, of the people. I mean, not to be unrealistic with our list, but it's just to show that you believe that he will help you. So it's to continue your work, because As a woman, God created us not to be on your helper, but our life gonna condition with the person that we're gonna marry. And if we marry the wrong person, our mission, because He created each person with a mission, will not be able to fulfill.
Yeah.
And when you put two people together who's supposed to be together, the mission gonna be parallel and you guys gonna go further along. So it's not only dating, it's dating with purpose. So
Yeah.
while you're doing your purpose, God have someone in the parallel side who's gonna align with your purpose and you're gonna help him achieve his and vice versa.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that way, it's gonna bring you peace because now you just started with your mission. So you on your preparing season. Who knows that your person is close by but still not activated yet because God is in control of that.
Yeah.
So just to show you,
Activate.
yes,
That's such a
exactly.
good word.
It is because when you're looking at it, He has to give the men
Yeah.
the click. Okay, now pursue because
Mhm.
we women we don't pursue.
No.
We here because we have to be pursued. So the men will pursue. But while you're on your preparing season, God knows when you're ready to be pursued.
Mhm.
So with that, while you're preparing yourself, God already have your person. It might be next to you. It might be, someone's going to encounter while you getting ready. So have the peace, I will say to everybody, to have the peace of knowing that He will align everything.
Mhm.
And the next thing you know, it happened organically in a way that you could never imagine. So that's the hope for everybody.
Yeah.
Keep on doing the work
Mhm.
and everything will be aligned.
Yeah. So good. Let's keep doing the work, guys. Let's keep doing the work. That's so true because we can grieve, we can be hopeless in every area of our lives. And sometimes we think we're the only ones. We think nobody understands. And I'm learning, it's like God building our character with every, like you said, in the area of singleness, of finding a partner, or if someone lost a partner. We don't understand the things and it's hard. However, we can know that God is there with us in those times and we can run to Him and say, like you said, this is out of my control, but I trust you. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do now. And it's that, like you said, build that resilience
Yes,
to keep going,
yes,
right?
yes. And you will find it. It will come naturally because when you call Him, it happened. You don't know how it happened. You just feel it. And that's the beauty in asking Him for help because it happened and you don't know how it happened. You just feel like, wait, how I'm feeling, I feel free. You know, you lost someone. You know that you have that pain, but it's not the same way. You don't feel it the same way as when it just happened.
Yeah, yeah. That's so good. So
Yeah.
beautiful. I love
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you, Loan. I needed this. These conversations are so good. I tell my friends this is my therapy session because I'm growing,
Yeah,
But like I said, I want this space to be a space of growth.
exactly. We're learning with
We're
for
learning
each
with
other.
each other.
Yes.
Like I'm learning from you so
Yes.
much, and you say you're learning from me, and then
Yes.
everybody else that's watching can also learn from us. And if they have a question or they need somebody, you can always message me or Loan. I'm sure she'll be happy to help you during this time, this season of your life. She's a great person that you can reach out to, as you can see and hear. She's growing a lot, and God is doing a great work in you.
Oh, glory to God.
Yeah, I do have a question though in regards to your job. I'm very curious because I love kids. I work with kids since I was 15, working as a babysitter. And then when I got a little older, I was doing nanny work for so long. And they're a part of me, right?
Yeah.
I have those kids. I love them so much. So knowing that you work, like you're bringing the gift of helping other people to your workplace, that is very inspiring too. I would just ask for something for if you could share. If not, it's fine. What is something that touches you the most with the cases that you see? I'm pretty sure they're hard.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's a nice question. It is hard because the work that we do is monitoring the families. But
Yeah.
it is hard because all those kids now will carry trauma from different events that happen in their life. They should, they probably gonna have psychologists or other people to help them. But I realized that as and the matter that I could help be there for them, of
Mhm.
course. And it is a long road.
Yeah.
It's a long road because that's why at the same time coaching, which is a different aspect, I anticipate that to help people because if they don't really deal with their emotion, that emotion can surface to different aspect in their life. Everybody is different. Everybody have their own things that they go through in life, but
Yeah.
they have to be in tune with what they're feeling and deal with it properly. That way they don't really enter in a relationship with a trauma and pass it along or maybe use it on someone else. So it's important to really you know deal with your emotion, exactly pay attention to what's your trigger, what exactly is going on, and how to implement some faith in it and understand where you need help.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true. See, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we were saying at the beginning too,
Mhm.
childhood is where everything is shaped, right? And
Yes,
that's
yes.
that's the area that the enemy wants to use the most.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, this world, everybody experiences trauma.
Yes.
Everybody experiences suffering.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
And some people are blessed enough to have people like you in their lives that can help them. Others are not, right? And then they
Mhm.
grow up and damage people, damage other people,
Exactly.
other kids, and then society just
Ke-
it's a cycle.
Exactly. And if you don't break the cycle, or
Yeah,
maybe like it's gonna keep going. So that's why it's not one person mission, it's all of us.
all of us. Yeah.
And the way we can help, the way you give someone a voice to talk about a subject where it's important, you're learning and they're both learning. And someone could hear this say, you know what, I think it should be good for me to help in that area.
Mhm.
It's another way to break the cycle and bring more awareness.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. Thank you.
Mm.
So, with all the work that you're doing now, you've been inspired to be, you said, a writer because
Yeah.
God gave you that gift and that tool since you were a kid. So can you tell us about your book and any projects that you have coming up that you would like to share? Some expectation.
Well, I do have a lot of stuff that I want to help because just to be sure that that book, it's like a preview because that's why I have separate all the chapters. There are different seasons in my life. And at the same time, where with everything that I went through, it brought me to the mission and purpose, which is the one of the last chapter in the book. And by doing that, I realized that working with God is one of the amazing thing. It just you never know how is walk is you feel like you're walking. You don't know the next door, but
Mhm.
it's just like you say stop. Here's the next, and then just a door appear.
Mm.
So right now, I would say that I am still under His directive. He gave me three names of the book where I can't disclose right now, but he's my biggest mentor, and then he's helping me with all the stuff that he wants me to work on and help people. So I rely 100% on his guidance.
Mhm.
That is 100% true. I always said that I don't like, I'm not saying that I know that he created me with my talents and things that he wants me to do. But as far as doing and helping people, I always know that he's the one who's going to help me say the right thing at the right time and how to like interact with people. So it's mainly right now focusing on the books, but at the same time coaching people where I'm going to be able to help in a way to not only for people to feel like okay they have someone that mentoring them, but as to for them when they come to me, it's not about like I'm telling them what to do. I'm just like someone God is using as a vessel to for them to kind of like get in tune with what they're feeling. Whatever that's inside that's blocking them, that's God's job to help them see clear. We, in whatever things that we work in things spiritually, God with the Holy Spirit, talk to the person in a way that they can see what they've been missing or things that's blocking them. Because fear, it's one thing. We're all dealing with that. Because it just bring imposter syndrome, makes us feel like we're not there yet or something. But as allowing the Holy Spirit working in us, it bring a different perspective. So everybody that are dealing with emotion where they can't let go. So that's my main focus, because I went through that in a season where I feel like God called me for. I should have done certain stuff long, like maybe a few years ago, but I was in a place where I felt like it's not enough, or maybe it's not time yet. But I felt go, go, go. And then, until my friend Gallery invited me to his book launch, and I'm like, I have to support him, and genuinely went there to support him. And where someone, I don't remember, Chris, I don't know, someone was talking at that event and legitimately kind of like tell me something. And it felt like it's something God reminding me of something I was supposed to continue. So right now I'm under God's directive, and I'll continue his work the way he wants me to continue. And I'm excited to see what is going with me, where it's going.
I'm excited for you too.
Thank you.
It's gonna be great.
Thank you.
No, it's going to be great, I'm sure. And
I'll go to him.
meeting people and going like you went to Guillory's book launch.
Yes.
It awakens things in us, right?
Yes.
Inspires us to go and also be part of that journey that God has himself, which is to help people, save people.
Yes.
And he wants to bring us to his journey. That's something I say too. I tell God, allow me to be part of what you're doing.
Exactly. And he will sure give you a no, no problem, Esther.
No, and then when I think about, okay, what does it require?
Exactly. And then you ask, you'll be giving.
I know, they be giving, and then, oh wait, I did ask for this, right?
I know.
So funny.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You're doing some work. And at the same time, people will think that when you work for God, or when you work, it's just, they might think that you're always going to have suffering. It's the trials, because honestly speaking, if you read your Bible, you'll see that people who serve God will have more tribulation, because it's not him persecuting you. It's the enemy persecuting you, because he knows the work that you have in your hand to do. So he don't want you to pursue something to help other people get out of bondages while you feel targeted all the time. And like, God, what's going on? Like, I'm doing what you're supposed to, but it's not him. So your work is to continue staying close in the spirit with him, that you can have the courage to go along, because he already give you all the strength that you need. Don't look at the noise and continue.
Yeah, that's so true. He's the one that gives us the strength.
Yes.
Because the enemy doesn't want us to do God's work.
I know.
Yeah, but God has a mission.
Exactly. You can't stop that.
No, he has a mission, and he's going to use us when we're willing to be that vessel.
Exactly.
And if we don't want to, he will use somebody else.
Exactly. That's why saying yes is important, because we have free wills.
Yeah, we have free wills. That's so good. Yeah. Thank you, Loanne, for sharing this with us. And I hope that this helped you and that encourages you to keep going in your life, and, like my friend, build that resilience, because we all need to build that, and we only build that through tribulations. We like it or not, hard things come into our lives, not because God is bad, not because we are bad people, but because we are in a world that does bad things and the consequences come. However, God's hand and God's heart is for us to be saved. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to be blessed, and he will meet us even during those hard seasons.
Yes.
Loanne has shared. Thank you, Loanne. Where can they find you? Where can they know about you?
Yes, so right now I have my two main page. It's my community page, Loyam, Loor IAME, and my art page, Loli_art.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Yes, here is her book. So you can order her book on her
Yes,
website.
it is available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. My Night Sky Blue by Loanne Jean Baptiste.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love your name too. It's
Thank
like so
you.
good. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode again. And please follow on social media. On Instagram, you can find me at From the Ground Up with Esther. And please subscribe here on YouTube and follow on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. Make sure to share this video, this conversation with somebody else so they can also be inspired and grow alongside me. I like to bring stories of people that are building something with their lives, in their career, in their businesses, in their community, because we can all grow from each other. And I always try my best to bring people that are faith based too, and others that probably don't actually have our same faith, but I know that God is using them in their community, that God is already touching their hearts and just working in them to serve them and to serve other people as well. So I thank you for joining me today, and I
Thank you,
wish you all
Esther.
a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Esther. It was a pleasure to do it with you right now. And I know God will continue his great work in your life.
And thank you, Lauren. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy that you came.
Thank you
Yes.
likewise.
Thank you guys. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.